Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning. It's morning here. I don't know what time it is there. It's probably in the late afternoon for you guys. Yeah, so I appreciate you all being here. Today is going to be a fun day because I get to show you guys how much I've enjoyed your recommendations, how much you guys, you know, school me and give me information on particular artists or bands and give me recommendations on new stuff or stuff I should listen to. And that's a big part of why I'm here, is to just have an interaction and try to put out stuff that you guys haven't heard. I've had stuff people say like I've never heard that one particular song from that artist, and so I didn't know I liked them as much as I do now. That that's fantastic. That's the whole reason for doing this, and just to sort of keep stretching our musical boundaries and finding new stuff, and being open to new stuff. So yeah, just for that, it's fantastic. So being one-on-one, hopefully, yeah, when we get to the point where I can start doing a live stream with audience members, with you guys, and chatting in real time and talking about it and how that's a big step that I'm looking forward to. So I can't wait until I get to actually talk with you guys in real time and listen to stuff and get a back and forth. So that's what this is going to be a little bit about. So yeah, as I said, past couple months, you guys, in varying degrees, flooding with good recommendations. Should listen to this, and so like I said, I write down everything you guys. I try to write down everything you guys have, whatever genre it's in. And one thing that I haven't done is go and see like who's giving me the recommendation all the time. So I had to go back a little bit and find out who was giving me the recommendation, so I can shout you out on this and just show my gratitude for that. But yeah, ultimately, this is what's going to be. I'm going to do about 4 tunes. I'm not going to talk, about them. I'm not doing a lot of research on them at this point. So I'm going to talk about, the players, what year it came out, and just give you some of the basics for that. And then, yeah, most of it's just going to be listening and just showing like, hey, you recommended this artist to me. I'm going to go right in. Let's do it right now. And give you that immediate feedback. So I have heard these songs. Some of them I've heard, once. Some of them I've heard a couple times. Some of them just yesterday, I just wanted to get through some more of the recommendations just to see if it was something that I wanted to put out, and I had immediate, just put it right on there. So I didn't even really hear the whole song. There's a couple of these I have not heard the whole song, but I know like I heard enough where it's going to be on my top list of, it's something I would immediately listen to. So these are going to be more on the, so I know I'm not going to be moving around too much in genre, so I'm not going to have like the top folk, the top blues, the top fusion, the top whatever genre. So they are all going to kind of revolve in a sort of genre, sort of soul, fusion, funk, I would say. And I did that kind of on purpose. Only because I didn't have, it's kind of just how it fell into. It just kind of fell into that. At least the ones I wanted. There will be some other ones, but I haven't done a full listen of everything. So I want to wait until I listen to other stuff before I do another listen. So there was like, say, honorable mentions. There was I feel like I've listened to some of the folk recommendations. Pentangle, which I really like some of the songs so far, but I haven't listened to. I'm listening to generally just like starting with the first album of most of the recommendations, unless there was a specific one. So I really like the production of that. It sounds really nice, and there's definitely things that I feel like I would put it on a list, but I'm just going to wait on that. So these are going to be sort of a little bit more compressed into a few different styles. So it's not going to be as diverse as it normally might be. But yeah, we'll save that for future request shows. I'm going to try to do these monthly, and so I can get these out back to you guys within, get some of the great recommendations and get back at least once a month, just some of the top ones that I've listened to. So again, yeah, without further ado, let's just listen to some of the stuff you guys have put out there for me, and I really appreciate it. Okay, I believe when I went back and looked, I believe I had two requests by the same person. It was Alejandro Bojorquez -23SR 23, not 2, the number TO3SR. Anyway, Alejandro Bojorquez. Yeah, so I don't remember which, we'll say, I'm not going to go back and listen to which video you requested these, but it was something, maybe it was a Dexter Wansel. But anyway, I'm going to go into one that you requested, and I went and listened to, I think you requested a few albums, so I listened to first couple albums of the Blackbyrds, and yeah, a lot of the song, I like the first album. It's more sort of to the kind of bare bones funk, which I liked. It was kind of similar to like a Meters, kind of bare bones, but actually a little bit more, not as bare bones as the Meters. So anyway, yeah, so let's see. Yeah, you recommended the Blackbyrds, and I went and listened to that, and their first album, their first album came out in 1974, and it was made up of, they had some great musicians on this besides themselves, but the Blackbyrds themselves on vocals, on trumpet, flugelhorn, and vocals was Donald Byrd, Kevin Toney on keyboards, melodica, and synthesizer, Joe Hall on electric bass, Keith Kilgo on drums, Alan Barnes on soprano and tenor sax, David Williams on bass, Oscar Brashear on trumpet and flugelhorn, Perk Jacobs on percussion, and Ray Armando on percussion. Okay, I'm not sure if they were all on this track, but yeah, I feel like, judging from what I heard, yeah, it seemed like it's a pretty full sounding group here. So anyway, yeah, you recommended this, and I'm going to, and this, what I ended up choosing for it was actually the first track on the album, and their later albums got a little bit more bare bones funk, a little bit more disco-y to my ears, so I'm going to stick with this. It's the first song on the first album, and it is called Do It, Fluid. Here we go.
I like
Yeah, because for one, I want to ask, is that the synthesizer? Or what is making those sounds? I assume it's the synthesizer, but it could have been. A lot of times, these times, they were doing, they had different effects you could throw on the horns, throw echoes and all kinds of other, even wah-wah and stuff, like Eddie Harris and stuff like that. So it could have been. I thought I heard some echo saxophone or a trumpet, but yeah, might have been. I don't know where the synthesizer is on that. Or is a synth just that clavichord? Yeah. So yeah, if you put on bass right from the beginning, bass, clavichord, drums, and everything's tight, you get to meet it. You get the car is rolling, the car is off. It's all you need. And then the greatest thing about this track itself is that the track is 5 minutes and 24 seconds, and the horns do not come in until 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So you're grooving along. You're thinking this is this is just like, okay, yeah, this is all right. Yeah, they're not. It's super funky. It's Meters. It's James Brown. It's funk. Yeah, a lot of funk bands in this time. So, but each one stands on its own. But these guys, yeah, so far it's tight. It's a great pocket. Bass lines, yeah, it's great. Great production. Everything's super tight. And then 3 minutes, the horns come and hit you over the head. And I was like, okay, you guys, somebody decided to wait. You waited over half the song, and then all of a sudden you just bring in the horns like that. That's yeah, you did your job. You shocked the heck out of me, that one. It killed me. And then the sax solo, yeah, who's on the sax solo? It's Kevin. So again, yeah, Alan Barnes on soprano, tenor sax solo, fantastic. I don't know if these guys were all session musicians. I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with Donald Byrd. Not familiar with the rest of these guys. But yeah, fantastic. One of the things, and I don't know where all these groups come from. I don't know their local, their cities, where they come from, New York or L.A. or Detroit or down south. I'm not sure where their origins are. But I will, yeah, if I do any future, retrospectives, I'm sure when it comes into, if I start doing a soul or another funk marathon or something like that, I'll definitely look into, and I'll do a little bit deeper dive on some of the stuff that I include. But for now, yeah, these are just giving this back to you guys and just showing you how much I enjoy, the stuff you guys let me know. You guys tell me, and appreciate it. Stuff I haven't heard, some of these bands I've heard of. I've listened to some of their stuff, but it's a little bit deeper, like keep going. You got to keep going. Not just one album. Go into they put out a lot of music out there, so nobody can listen to all of it. But let's go back. Let's finish this off. I really want to go into when those horns came in, but we'll just... I got no problem with fade outs. Some people don't like fade outs as much. I think it's maybe lazy, but I don't know. I got no problem with it. Sometimes it's just the only thing you can do. Anyway, yeah. So lyric wise, I likes to party. He likes to party. He's talking about fluid. I don't know. Is he talking about drinks? I guess. Yeah. Talking about shine. Talking about whatever it is. Hold up. And when you feel a tingle and your body wants to intermingle, hold up. Talking about do it, fluid. Yeah, I don't know. Hold up. Drugs are for fools or will keep you cool. Hold up. Talking about Do It. Yeah, I'm not going to get to the bottom of this. I feel like it's either right on the surface or I'll try to dig in deeper where I don't need to. But yeah, this is the first song off the album, and honestly, if I heard this, I might not immediately listen to the next song because I'm not ready for it yet. I want to savor this. You know, I've walked out of a group before. The opening band blew me away, like blew my head off. And the opening band was the Charlie Hunter trio or Charlie Hunter, and I just left. I was like, I don't want to hear Charlie Hunter. I don't want to hear anything right now except what's still reverberating through my brain from this opening group. So I literally just got up and walked out of the club and walked home. And yeah, so sometimes you just you don't want any more interference. And this song, yeah, I was like, this just hit the mark. Which, you know, a lot of groups sometimes, yeah, they just put that right on the intro track, man. Just grab you and take you, and you're just like, where are we going, man? Where are we going? Yeah. So this was that track for me, and I listened. The rest of the album is really good too, and the rest of the album is really good, and there's some great stuff on it. But I just kept coming back to this track. It's just having that immediate moment of clarity and just synchronicity, and yeah, it's just tight. I love all the. I don't know who's the harmonica player. It's not listed. I couldn't find it. I don't know who was on the harmonica. If it was one of the other band players, one of the members that did it, but yeah. Again, this standout, you know, yeah, the bass grooving, bass and the clavichord to me are just like the pocket. The drums was, you know, I didn't hear him doing a lot of fills, doing a lot of extra stuff, you know, really kicking it up a notch in that sense. But yeah, and then once the horns come in, they just kind of take over. But the bass and the clavichord are holding it down. So I appreciate it. Alejandro Bojorquez threw that out to me, and he threw out another one, which I think I'm going to jump into. But for now, yeah, I'm going to go into the next one. So I appreciate it. Yeah, your recommendations. I go and listen. I will listen to it. So the next one, let me see. I'm going to go into. Let's go into a little bit different style. So this one was a recommendation from Sound Level 11481. Sound Level. And this is something where, I don't know, I hope over time, you know, I get to know the audience a little bit better. A lot of you guys, you know, comment more often on, so I know you're listening to the stuff and you're commenting. So, you know, to whatever level you're agreeable to, you know, I'm happy to reach out and have a little bit more casual, you know, relation to if you want to give me your name and stuff, and just, cause yeah, you guys are always in there. But, Sound Level, I don't remember how much you were in there, but this time, yeah, you, gave me a recommendation. Maybe it was listening to Mahavishnu Orchestra, that you did this. So anyway, yeah, let's get into this one. You gave me a recommendation. I'm going to listen to one of the tracks on there. And this one, you recommended a few albums, but I listened to them, and this was Billy Cobham off his album Total Eclipse, 1974, with John Abercrombie on electric and ovation guitars, Michael Brecker on flute, soprano, and tenor, Randy Brecker on trumpet, flugelhorn, Glenn Ferris on tenor and bass trombones, Milko Leviev on keyboards, Alex Blake on electric bass. So, yeah, obviously it's got the Brecker brothers. John Abercrombie, I think he was also in Soft Machine for a while. And, yeah, I know he's probably been in a host of bands. I haven't listened to him too much. I'm very familiar with him, but I haven't listened to him all that much, sadly. And so this is one of the big groups that he was a part of in the 70s, Billy Cobham. So not too shabby. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate your recommendation for that, and I think you did another album too. But yeah, we're going to listen to one song off of that album called Lunarputians. And this is the 6th track off that album, Total Eclipse. Here we go. Okay. So part of the reason I chose that also is because it's sometimes the biggest thing listening to jazz fusion or jazz or any style is the brevity, compactness of a song, and leaving a little bit wanting. So I like that because a lot of them they stretch out a lot more, which is great. But sometimes, I still like the a compact, tight song with no sort of no room for not much space to stretch out and stuff like that. Which I appreciate the stretching out, but sometimes it's nice just to have a very compact song with no not everything is said that needs to be said. And it's just what it is. So that's something where it's definitely an appreciation I have when I hear something where I feel like, oh, they could have stretched that song into whatever amount of time they wanted to. They could have stretched that, let everybody take solos. So why didn't they? I don't know. Maybe they just wanted something that's maybe nobody, they put it on the album, so obviously they like the melody, they like the head of it, they like where it went. Yeah, they could have stretched on it. They didn't. So I don't know. I appreciate that sometimes the choices made to not do something. And yeah, famously, there's a King Crimson song. I forget the name of it. But it was a very improvisation. It was a very just, 2 or 3 instruments, violin, guitar. It wasn't like a heavy song. Didn't have like a strong drum beat. So the drummer was on there. Bill Bruford, I believe, was the drummer. But they had other instruments sort of doing very meandering melodic things. And over the 3 or 4 minutes, Bill Bruford didn't play anything at all. Didn't play one note. And he was still on the record giving credit for what he did, which was nothing. He chose to not play on it because he just didn't feel it needed it. He didn't see anywhere where I was like, oh, I can add this to this. This will further it. So that's amazing. That's something where we forget about it. It's not about what you do, but what you don't do. And so this song, I thought it was interesting just to have it. It's only a 2.5 minute song. Nobody's doing a solo, except maybe Billy Cobham's doing some amazing fills. Those are little solo bits. But yeah, it has everything you expect to hear from the band: the musicianship, the arranging, the production, the Brecker Brothers horns, Billy Cobham, John Abercrombie playing, harmony and lead lines with the melody. So yeah. And who else? Yeah, Alex Blake on bass, Milko Leviev on keyboards. Again, I think a little bit of clavichord sound on there, so a little bit of holdover from the Blackbyrds. So yeah, super tight band, all the great instrumentation, great musicianship, super tight, in and out. That's it. So, there were some other tunes on here which I was like contemplating, like, oh, I could do this one, I don't remember which ones, maybe Solarization. But yeah, the whole album, I'm going to listen to it more. But I just wanted to do this one as a quick showcase of the tightness of the band and what I may have in store for me if I listen to more. So I appreciate this one. Sound level, yeah, Billy Cobham. So yeah, I listened to it, and I'm going to listen to more of this one and Crosswinds, the other one you recommended. And yeah, appreciate it. And we're going to go into the next one, which was, this one was a cool one. Yeah, this was recommended me by Such Is This Mystery 2814. So this person, I believe, came in when I was doing some of the soul, some of the Randy Crawford, and who's the other guy? But yeah, I was doing a bunch of sort of underground soul or 70s soul that I thought was sort of a spotlight on R&B soul at that period. And Such Is This Mystery, yeah, gave me a bunch of good recommendations. So yeah, I wrote them down. It took me a little while, but yeah, I did go and find the music. I went and listened to it in my free time, and I'm going to do this one song off another first song off the first album, which, I don't know, just seems to have some clarity, or just seems to be, I'm sure it's some psychology where a group, yeah, of course, the first song on the first album, you really want to keep people's attention and basically not continue on with the rest of the album. So I can see why put your best foot forward, as a saying. So yeah, this would be her first song off the first album, 1976. So yeah, so far we did Blackbyrds 1974, Billy Cobham 1974. Now we're going to go up a couple years, 1976. I don't know what it is. I mean, I kind of do know what it is, why I'm doing all these around the same period. It's just some of the best stuff. What can I say? I don't know. It wasn't my arrangement. Anyway, yeah. Deniece Williams, you mentioned, yeah. Go listen to her first couple albums. You thought it's a shame that she's, known for these sort of pop hits she had in the mid 80s, 1984. And so I took it to heart. I said, okay, yeah, I'm not sure of Deniece Williams. I know of her a little bit, but I'm going to do the first song on her first album, 1976. This is Deniece, written by Deniece Williams, Clarence McDonald, and Fritz Basket. And this is Deniece Williams on lead and backing vocals, Maurice White on drums, backing vocals, Freddie White on drums and percussion, Verdine White on bass, and these are Earth, Wind, and Fire brothers, originators. Al McKay on guitar. He might be with Earth, Wind, and Fire too, so I'm not sure all the members and how they translate, but it's a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire on this first album. I think they helped produce it also. Anyway, Al McKay on guitar, Jerry Peters on acoustic piano, electric piano, George Bohannon and Randy Aldcroft on trombone, Gail Robinson and Sidney Muldrow on French horn, Oscar Brashear and Steve Madow on trumpet. Oh, and Oscar Brashear was also on the Blackbyrds trumpet. That's crazy. Okay. Oscar Brashear, I can't believe that. The first two songs, we've got the same player on the two different songs 2 years apart. Oscar Brashear was the trumpet player on Blackbyrds, and he's also the trumpet player on this track. That's cool. Ernie Watts, Plas Johnson, Ray Pitsey, Terry Harrington on woodwinds, and Sidney Barnes on backing vocals. And yeah, I think that's everybody. Did we see bass? Yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire drums and bass mostly. Okay, here we go. It's called It's Important to Me, Deniece Williams. Here we go. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculously infectious. Oh my god. You can't even pick out an instrument and be like, oh, they did good. It's like, what? That was like a vortex of just energy. I mean, that's like kind of like 12. That's not 12 out of 10. That's right near the end. I was like, this is like the energy you feel like. If you remember the scene in the one of the Muppet movies when they had the band in the church, and just like all the churches, all the lights is coming in, and the band's just grooving. I just feel like, yeah, it's such a And the really good part about this tune is that they do switch it up. So they kind of break things down, they add things in each time, so it doesn't feel like you're hearing the chorus again in the same way, you're hearing the verses in the same way. They keep it interesting enough each time, so you feel like you're really in new ground. And then the interplay with the horns and the guitar and the keyboard, it's like, it's amazing. I mean, I honestly, like, I love bands, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I know Earth, Wind, and Fire is like they're gods, in the R&B field and live, and just the number of songs and their talent and musicianship is insane. And they have a heavy hand in this, so I will give them full props. But also, this is I can't find any fault with this, whatsoever. I mean, this is like 100%. Whatever hole you're in, whether you're in a music hole, you're in a positive hole, you're in a classical hole where you just listen to this, you're in a blues hole where like, oh, I'm only going through like blues right now. I'm like, my mind is completely encapsulated in this style. This song will drag you kicking and screaming and just pull you right out of that hole and just throw you up into the air and just drag. It's just such a ride. So much energy, so much everybody's togetherness, like the feeling that everyone's playing together and everybody's, I mean, I can't imagine even performing, recording this and not just being in this state of bliss where you could even perform. Like, how can I work in this environment, where everything is just, the feeling is just like bombastic, the good feeling, the positivity, the energy. Yeah, she's amazing. I've heard the whole album. There's not a bad song on this album, and it was hard to pick the song. I was like, I mean, this is a great song, but I mean, what about these other songs? These are great too. But there's something about this song, just the spirituality too, the good nature, the sort of positive vibes, and the request for her to, love me too, it's important to me, such a good message, and vulnerable message at that. It's not like the bravado is there, she's pleading in a sense, in such a, like, I deserve this, pleading, show me the love, and with this, if this is what she's got, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to ask me twice. No, I'm a follower. I will go wherever you go. Yeah, this was just so good. No matter how good a music you're listening to, we can listen to the other styles. The Blackbyrds are great, Billy Cobham. It's on a different level. It's not meant to elicit the same response. They're searching after different things, different journey. But this is like, how do you listen to something like this and then, put it in the same category? This is just so, and it's the production too. The production is just immaculate. All the instruments and everything in the right place and the right spirit and energy. It's so hard to record such vibrant, like, organic, just instruments, the interplay, the communication. It's really a skill on its own, just to be able to live and breathe in this sort of sterile environment where everyone's just, in this sort of study mode, and just sort of, your energy doesn't want to come out sometimes. You feel like you've locked all the doors, and then you ask this, this spirit to just come out, ever flowing. It's a weird task. Anyway, God, yeah. So if you haven't heard this, This is Deniece, 1976, Deniece Williams. As I said, yeah, I listened to the rest of this album. The rest of this album's great. I think none of those other albums, I'm going to listen to her some after this. I think I have them. I'm not sure if I've listened to them yet. I may have listened to a little bit, but I'm really still just ingesting this album because it's just so infectious, and her talent. I hate to talk about the band and the production because her voice is like so fantastic. It's so diverse. It's so clear. I think initially Randy Crawford I listened to first, even though I hadn't listened to Randy Crawford for probably 30 years. And I heard Randy Crawford and I was just like, oh, this is what I've been missing. And then you showed me her and I was like, okay, I can see the similarity there. But yeah, Deniece Williams, yeah, she's got skills to pay the bills. Yeah, and I think she started out, I did a little bit of research on her. Like I said, I'm not going into a ton with this, but I will do further on at some point. If I do more, I will do a little bit more research on her history and all that. But I know she did she sang back up for Stevie Wonder for a number of years. So that in itself kind of shows you, where she comes from and what her abilities are. So let's, without further ado, let's get to the last one. I appreciate everybody. The last one I'm going to do, I think, was also another request, but if someone else requested any of these, I think I got to write most of it, but if there was someone I missed, just comment and let me know, and I'll appreciate it. I'll amend you in another video for sure. But yeah, I believe this one was also part of a Dexter Wansel video, and I think it was also Alejandro Borjaquez requested to listen to his other albums, Voyager, which was a couple years later. Then I listened to his Life on Mars, which I love. I've heard that, and he said listen to Voyager as well. It's really good. And so yeah, I did do that, and I picked a tune off of Voyager. There's actually a couple tunes. It was really hard to choose which one. There's a couple tunes that are really good off of that, and I would definitely wanted to showcase both, but I'm going to choose one of them now. So again, yeah, I appreciate it. So this was Dexter Wansel, Voyager album, 1978. If I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do Voyager, written by George Howard. Backing vocals were Barbara Ingram, Carla Benson, and Evett Benton. I think I forget if this song had that. One of the two songs, I think that was on the Latin, the other song, but this one I don't think had backing vocals. Anyway, bass on Derek Graves on bass, Larry Washington on congas, Billy Johnson on drums, Dexter Wansel, of course, on keyboards, guitar, drums, and percussion, and producer of the album, Steve Gold on piano and synthesizer, Herb Smith on rhythm guitar, George Howard on saxophone, and Don Ronaldo on strings and horns, and Butch Harper on trumpet and flugelhorn. And yeah, I think, I don't remember all the names for everybody, all the people I listened to, but I think George Howard, I think he was playing with War during this time, either before or after. Or he was one of the original members, I think, George Howard. But I thought he was the guitar player. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. So, Herb Smith, rhythm guitar. I wonder if there's just any overlap there. So yeah, let me know. Maybe I got these guys mixed up. But anyway, that's these are the musicians on this particular track, Voyager, 1978, Dexter Wansel. Let's get into it. Thanks, Alejandro. Okay, just quickly, yeah, that bass right there, just doing that cut off. Okay, that's it. I'm just gonna pause it for 1 second. Just finish this. Oh, so fun. It's a Voyage. Wow, that is a way to finish off a jam like that. Wow, that's its own thing, man. That's, I want to hear just a snippet of, before I talk, I'm going to hear a snippet of the other one, but yeah, that's just, oh man, I don't know. Yeah, so the most surprising, the bass doing his job, really inserting himself into the path, into the momentum of the music for sure. The bass had a huge control over what happens, and when it happens and how people's reaction to it. Bass can do something and it causes immediate reaction. And obviously, Dexter, the keyboard, is just creating all these sonic spaces, and that's why he loves these sounds. And then unfortunately, we just associate that with sort of space and otherworldliness and fantasy. So it's just kind of naturally where his sound kind of gets categorized as sort of space fusion, space rock, space soul. But yeah, he's all over this. He's got all kinds of sounds going on in keyboards, and the guitar player, I don't know if that's doing the solo. If that was Herb Smith, as rhythm guitar, but I assume he's doing the solos here. And that was Derek Graves on bass. And this one was written by George Howard, the saxophone player on this particular track. So, yeah. And the drummer, Billy Johnson, pretty much just keeping it steady the whole time, keeping it tight. Wasn't doing anything outlandish necessarily. Yeah, so, I love I'm going to listen to more of this Dexter Wansel. I think I've heard, let me just play a little bit of Latin Love. going to do the whole thing because I want to leave a little bit to be desired. So if you guys want to check out more Dexter Wansel, that's on his Voyager album. That one's called Latin Love, parentheses, Let Me Know. And I think he has vocals on that particular track, or at least background vocals. So yeah, you got to hear a little bit more of his sort of serene keyboard. I think he plays like an ARP. I think it's ARP 2600. I don't forget the name. But yeah, the sort of synthesizer he uses creates these sort of great textures. So anyway, yeah, that's the May. This is our May most appreciated requests, most immediately, yeah, top requests so far. I mean, I appreciate everyone's request is appreciated, and I'm not saying it's I like a lot of it, so it's not something. It's something where either I'm not ready for it now, or it could be something where I've heard it before, or it could just be something that doesn't immediately pique my interest. So, but these are just some of the top ones. Obviously, yeah, these are all sort of in the same genre, but yeah, I think the next one, I will definitely try to do it more diverse. There was a couple folk ones, and I'd say honorable mentions. So, Super Productions. I know you have given me a lot of recommendations. I forget your complete ID or name, but I know it's Super Productions something. But yeah, I want to give an honorable mention to something I almost included, and that was Santana off the Caravanserai album called Song of the Wind. That was one I almost did. And I wanted to include it, but I had to kind of stop it short of a certain number. But yeah, I love that. I love a lot of the songs on that album. That one in particular. The only thing that stopped me short because it's all Santana. I mean, it's a great band. Obviously, the great rhythm section is there, and Santana. But yeah, and some stuff wanted to hear something a little bit. I wanted to hear, another instrument in the mix, or hear a keyboard take a solo, or hear, whatever else, some instrumentation. So, sometimes, yeah, while it's great to listen to, yeah, sometimes I want to stretch it out a little bit in what I'm giving back there. So I appreciate that. Roshan. And then obviously people have recommended and voted for The Gentle Giant, Acquiring the Taste. So I did their full album, so I'm not going to include it in the top requests, but obviously Gentle Giant is among the top requests because I'm doing the full album. And some requests I haven't gotten to yet. Somebody requested some Genesis Trespass because I've mentioned either Gentle Giant and Genesis. I haven't listened to too much, and I'm a little bit hesitant on the Genesis. I mean, I want to listen to it, but I'm just hesitant in that I'm not sure. I know a little bit of it, and I'm not sure if it's gonna feel good as far as me, whether I'm liking it or not liking it, or just not sure what I feel about it. Kind of ambiguous, but. So if I didn't, so yeah, I appreciate everyone's response, and I sort of went through. I didn't listen to. I don't think I listened to every request, but I tried to listen to as much as I could and sort of take it from there. So there'll be more every month. I'm going to do a top request. So if I get to yours, I'll likely try to get to most everybody's request to listen to it at least. And sometimes I have to make a pretty quick judgment. I'm not listening to it 10 times to listen to it. So sometimes I just want to listen to it just once or twice to get that initial feeling, whether it's something that I want to throw back in you guys and just show my gratitude. So again, yeah, I appreciate it. I hope this was fun for you. I hope you if you heard the stuff that you requested and appreciate it, that's great. If you haven't heard this before and you were like, just fantastic that the fact that you haven't heard before and now you can dig into yourself a little bit more like I did, then that's great too. So yeah, again, I'm going to try to incorporate this every month. So keep the requests coming, and I'm going to keep making lists and keep listening. And anyway, yeah, then we'll be on to the next one. So yeah, check out right now. We got all the full albums coming steady. Gentle Giant, Joni Mitchell, Jethro Tull to Gil Scott-Heron. And we got a huge, Canterbury scene retrospective going through right now through like 20 bands. So it's going to be going for a while. But I'm going to try to intersperse a lot of different stuff throughout that. So yeah, just keep tuned, keep recommendations, and I appreciate it, everybody. And I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.